President Trump one step closer to ending the Ukraine-Russian war. Here's the top 5 reasons why Trump is trending today.
Trump is trending, he's everywhere. From the news to the cafes in our air.
All right, number 1 reason Trump is trending today, he takes a big step towards ending this senseless war in Ukraine with Ukraine and Russia. It's something that he wants to get done. He campaigned on it. He wants to get this thing done as soon as possible. Today, he spoke with both Vladimir Zelensky, Vladimir Putin. Here's what he had to say on Truth. I spoke to President Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine. The conversation went very well. He, like President Putin, wants to make peace. We discussed a variety of topics having to do with the war, but mostly the meeting that is being set up on Friday in Munich, where Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will lead the delegation. He was on to say, it is time to stop this ridiculous war where there has been massive and totally unnecessary death and destruction. God bless the people of Russia and Ukraine. He also posted this paragraph here about his conversation with Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, talking about ending this war as well. Both sides, he says, are eager to come to an agreement here. We know that President Donald Trump has been talking about tapping into the resources in Ukraine, seeing as how we've given them hundreds of billions of dollars. He wants to tap into these resources that they have in Ukraine, including titanium, iron, uranium, magnesium, lithium. They have a treasure trove of valuable minerals there. Trump trying to work out the best deal. We know he's the art of the deal, trying to make that happen in exchange for this entire thing, all the support we've given Zelensky, who walked away with a big bag full of money from this whole thing, and it's still keeping him in power. He won't allow anybody to have any elections while the war is going on, a big thing to keep him in power. So Trump looking to end this entire thing. He takes one big step closer to making that happen with conversations with both presidents today. Number 2 reason Trump is trending today, a judge sides with President Donald Trump on his bid to buy out federal workers. A federal judge today restored President Trump's deferred resignation program for federal workers in his decision. The deferred resignation program, also known as the administration's fork in the road offer, involved asking government workers to either stay or leave after Trump mandated them return to their offices shortly after the inauguration. We know that these federal workers enjoy their ability to be able to work from home, not have to go to the office. They can just mail it in. Donald Trump says, no. You're getting paid by the taxpayer. You show up to work. You show up to the office. You get your hands dirty, and you dig in. These people don't want to do it. Trump said, okay, you don't want to play, you don't want to come into work. Here's a buyout. Goodbye, you're gone. And so they were trying to block this from happening because for some reason there seems to be a problem processing this many resignations. So now this federal judge has agreed with President Trump. He is moving forward with this program now, and so we will be cutting an extensive amount of fat from our government. Number 3 reason Trump is trending today, his nominee for Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, gets confirmed by the Senate today, also gets sworn in. She was confirmed by a vote of 52 to 48. Now, what a coincidence here that Mitch McConnell is the only senator on the Republican side that decided to go with the Democrats and vote against Tulsi Gabbard as the Director of National Intelligence. This is the same guy who's falling upstairs. He can't seem to walk straight. He's got to be pushed around in a wheelchair everywhere he goes. He is holding on. He is someone who's saying, you're going to pull this power that I have away from my cold, dead hands. He does not want to give up an inch of his power. This is why he's holding on to his position here. This guy belongs in a home, assisted living, anywhere but in the Senate. And he votes against President Donald Trump's nomination for Director of National Intelligence, while if you rewind the clock back to President Joe Biden's pick, who was Avril Haines, of course, we look and see that Mitch McConnell voted yes, as he did with most of, if not all, of Biden's picks. He doesn't seem to have it in his heart to be able to do that for President Donald Trump. Shame on this guy. He's a disgrace. He should be forced out of the Senate, and there should be term limits, and he is the walking example of why. Number 4 reason Trump is trending today, he wants to shut down the Department of Education immediately. This came from comments he made earlier today saying the Department of Education is a big con job. We spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, but we ranked 40th. That means that something is really wrong, right? I say send it back to the states. We know this is something that's been very big with Donald Trump. We know that the Department of Education has been a failure because nobody can actually point to a single educational metric that that has improved since Jimmy Carter brought this Department of Education into the country. It has been a failure. So no one has any kind of rebuttal to this to say, oh no, we're doing good because look where we're ahead here. Look where we're ahead there. We're not. The country has fallen behind in education. And if you walk around in society outside of your house, you can actually see signs of how the Department of Education has failed. People out here are dumb as a box of rocks. We're talking with people who cannot think critically. We're talking with people who have no idea how to balance their own budget, yet they want to solve the country's problems. So we're dealing with a lot of people that have no idea how to do so many basic, simple things in life. The Department of Education has failed them. Just the basics of reading and writing. And you know what? A little bit of U.S. history, too, because most of the people have no idea what has happened in this country and why we love it so much. There's been a major problem, and as Trump says, we've thrown more money at this thing than any other country in the world. It's produced no results. So if it's not working year after year after year, why do we continue to fund it? Why do we continue to have it? It's time for it to go. Send it back to the states. Donald Trump is correct. Number 5 reason Trump is trending today. Trump was unanimously elected as the chairman of the board before the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Posting this up on Truth Social today, President Donald J. Trump was unanimously elected chairman of the board for the prestigious Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. The president stated, "It is a great honor to be the chairman of the Kennedy Center, especially with its amazing board of trustees. We will make the Kennedy Center a very special and exciting place." He wants to make a golden age of arts and culture. We know that the Kennedy Center, obviously, like everything else in entertainment or anything, has been plagued with these drag shows and all this nonsense that doesn't belong in our culture. So it's time to return the golden age of arts and culture. That is exactly what President Donald Trump aims to do, and that is why he is now chairman of the board at the Kennedy Center. Exciting to see what will come of that. Those are the reasons why Trump is trending today. If you're enjoying these breakdowns, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you can find out the top 5 reasons why Trump is trending each and every day.
Trump is trending, he's everywhere. From the news to the cat babies in our air.